Okay, so today in class we want to go through some pieces of our equipment. We've talked about using hand tools, power tools. Today we're going to go through some of the equipment in the shop so that you get to know and understand what each of these pieces of equipment are called. And then we're going to kind of do a little shop layout where we draw a picture, kind of do a little bit of a sketch on the actual layout of the classroom here so you know where each of these items are and can follow along. So, first thing I'm going to do is take a look around at the general shape of the shop, and we'll see that it's roughly a rectangle. So I'm going to draw that rectangle here on my whiteboard. I want you guys to follow along and do the same thing on a sheet of paper there. Preferably some type of printer paper, something with no lines. It'll be a little easier as you go through. Now, I also know you guys are used to looking at a small world, so don't draw it small like that. Go ahead and utilize the paper. That's what it's there for. You kind of want to use a full sheet of paper as this, because we're going to be putting all of our tools and equipment on here and labeling it as such so that you know what we have. Now, first thing I want to know, as we enter the shop area from the CAD class, we've got a door up over there. So I'm going to put that in right here. So, and these two lines along the edge of this are commonly used in architectural drafting as a symbol for a doorway. So we'll have that door right there. Now, pay attention as we go through this. We're going to be talking a little bit about scale, proportions, symmetry. So we want to kind of try to maintain these size relationships between everything here in the class. So now, as I look around, I also know that on the back corner of the shop is the garage door to the outside. So I'll kind of represent that with those two lines. And then I actually look and I see that this is kind of cut out. So we got a separate room. And as I look at the total length of the wall, I'm going to say that that is about 1/3 of the length. So I kind of divide this up here, and we're going to put that in now. There's a door right here. So if you don't know, this is our hardwood storage area. So when we are making the clock, we'll come in here and we will get our oak out of here. So this is the hardwood storage closet right there. So, and other hardwoods are kept in there too, poplar and cherry, oak, any other type of species that we're using. So that's kind of the basics here. Of course, if we go down into this area, over there is of course the finishing room and the glue up room. I'm not going to put those on this particular diagram because we just want to concentrate on the actual shop itself. So right here, the first thing I'm going to start with are the work tables that you have. So, again, they're all about the same size, so I want to try to kind of maintain some scale and proportion, make these roughly the same size here as we go. So we've got 5 of them here. So we're going to draw those 5 work tables in right there. So we'll call this work table A. Let's label this work table A. This one is B. This one is C. This one is D. And this one is E. And those are all work tables. So right next to the work table, right here in front of me, we also have these 2 pieces of equipment. So and those are our table saws. So I'm going to draw those in. Now notice those are a little wider, a little narrower. So I'll put a table saw here and a table saw here. Now we kind of refer to this as a table saw north and table saw south. This is the table saw south, that's the table saw north, just as a reference. And that's mainly more for me, really, because there's a little bit difference with the guides and the guards that are on these two. Now, up in that corner of the shop, the big blue machine, that is our CNC machine. So I'm going to draw this up in here. So this is our our CNC router. I'm going to label that, put that into there. Right next to it here is one of our drill presses. So it's a Powermatic drill press, so that's drill press. As we go back here behind the table saw, standing behind the easel that you can't really see right now, it's a yellow machine. That's a Powermatic as well, pretty much directly behind the table saw. That is our planer. So I'll also label that P-L-A-N-E-R or P-L-A-N-A-R, either way is correct. And the green machine along the side over here, it's a little bit smaller, and that's our jointer, J-O-I-N-T-E-R. That is our jointer. So and those two machines you'll get to use as well. Along this wall next to our wood storage area, a really important piece of equipment for us here. That's what we refer to and call a radial arm saw. So I'm going to label that too, a radial arm saw. There. In the back, kind of by the door, right in this area, we have another drill, or we have another bandsaw. That's a bandsaw there. Over on this side of the room, about right here, is one of the smaller bandsaws. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. So I got a smaller bandsaw right there. And then the two green machines that are along that side, so we have that one there and this one here. Those are both of our wood lathes. So we'll go ahead now. Those are our wood lathes. Now this is a little close and I don't have quite as much space to label that, so I'm going to draw these two what we call leader lines with an arrow, and I'll just put and label that here as a wood lathe so that you see what that is. And then in this far corner back here, I also have a couple more of drill presses, so I'll just kind of put those in there too. We'll do a leader line with both of these as well, and we'll label those as drill press. So, as we have a couple of drill presses, there's another drill press over in that corner as well for us to be using and working. So those are the basic pieces of equipment that we have in the shop that you're going to be using this semester. So we have the work tables. In my opinion, probably one of our most important pieces of equipment. You really need a good, solid work table to work on. Helps make jobs easier. So our CNC router. We have, I said drill press up there. I told you wrong. That was actually a bandsaw. So sometimes I kind of got mixed around. So that's a bandsaw right there. So we have our two table saws right there and there. We have the other bandsaw over here, the planer right here behind the bandsaw, the jointer, a bandsaw on the back wall, radial arm saw, two wood lathes, and our drill presses. So those are the pieces of equipment that you need to kind of get an idea of and be able to identify and know what those are here as we learn about our tools, hand tools, power tools, and equipment here in the wood shop.